good evening, and welcome. Or perhaps I should say good morning, since we're going to be making some delicious coffee drinks this morning. I have some wonderful coffee beans from Ethiopia. And I have finely ground some of those beans. Smells amazing. And we're going to be making a couple different espresso drinks. I don't have a true espresso machine, so I'm going to use an AeroPress to pressurize the situation a bit here. And these are going to be perhaps a bit unconventional. I picked up this book, The New Art of Coffee by Ryan Castellaff, and he runs a fancy coffee shop in Wisconsin and has shared some of his recipes. I would describe these on the whole as being like modernist cooking plus craft bartending applied to coffee. There's a lot of challenging creations in there, making powders and foams. We're going to do something that's a little more straightforward, but still with some complexities. I don't know a great deal about coffee. I started drinking it later in life, in my 30s. So I thought I would pick up this book to learn a little more and see if we couldn't come up with some fun things to try to mix it up from the cocktails we've often done here on the channel. So let's see if we can't wake ourselves up a bit. Or I'll wake myself up with the coffee and maybe you can get some sleep. Or if you just want to relax in the morning with a good cup of coffee, please feel free to do so as well. So first things first, I want to go ahead and make a batch of espresso. Like I said, we're going to make two different drinks. So I'm going to make basically a double shot that will split between them. So I'm going to use this mug as a sturdy base for the press. We'll shift it into these Yeti cups and then we'll make our drinks from there. So let's get set up here. I'm going to grab a filter. There we go, and we will thread this onto our press. Okay. Then let's take some of this wonderful ground coffee. Give myself a nice scoop here. have the plunger ready to go here, and I'm just going to grab our water just off the boil, and I will press it through. And let's get the second scoop in there for our double. Set those aside. Have our plunger ready to go. Let's grab our water, which is just off the boil. Gonna just stir this briefly. Add our plunger. We're just gonna let it bloom for a moment here. Everything ready to go. And let's go ahead and press our brew here. Wonderful. Smells amazing. So like I said, let's go ahead and split this into our cup so we can use it. All right, we have our 2 shots of espresso. The first beverage we're preparing is called the Papy. Maybe some old-fashioned vibes with this one. And we're gonna make this one hot, and the next drink will be iced. So I have one other prep item, because what we're going to need is some atomized bourbon to finish this drink. So I have my little vial here and this little funnel to go with it, and a wee bottle of Woodford Reserve Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I'm gonna go with some good stuff here. And let's go ahead and just fill our vial. Okay. Just a wee little guy here. Okay, so let's get this assembled so we'll be able to spray. All set. Alright, to make our actual drink, we're going to take some maple syrup that, along with our shot of espresso. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And then I have some milk. Just gonna go ahead and froth this up. And I'm just gonna quickly make sure this is nice and warm, so we have a nice warm espresso beverage. All right, nice warm milk, nice and frothy. Go ahead and stir to incorporate our ingredients. All right. Beautiful. Smells good. I should say I have a number of talents, but pouring things between containers is not one of them, so this is a challenging and risky video. Now to finish this drink off, some black lava salt, which is pretty awesome. We're just gonna sprinkle a line across the beverage like that. And the finishing touch, we're going to hit it with a little spray of the bourbon. Voila. Wow, nice vanilla note popped up off of that. And that is the Papy Espresso drink. And I think I'm gonna have to give it a shot. That's pretty delicious. Definitely a very comforting and cozy set of flavors going on there. Very delicious. The Papy. Alright, I think I'm gonna restrain myself and we will dive into the next creation here, which is called the Pirate Life. And just that name makes me feel like it needs to be a nice cold beverage, though it can be made hot as well. So there is a little preparation for this drink, so let's have a quick look at that and then see about whipping it up. For this recipe, there are a couple elements that we need to make ahead of time. We're going to start with a banana caramel. So for this, I'm going to start with the pan on the heat, and we're just going to toast some spices, a cinnamon stick, and some mace. We're just going to cook these for a little bit, just to activate those oils, get those wonderful fragrances released. smells so good already. And we don't want to burn these, so I'm going to do this very quickly. And we'll set those aside. Now we're going to add our sugars. I have some brown sugar and some white sugar. And we're going to add a bit of water as well to help us out. And I kind of got excited here. I would recommend you add the water first, just to make things easier. And we'll mix these together. We just want to get this sugar dissolved, and we're gonna get this up to a boil. We'll boil and then bring it down to a simmer just to get this to thicken up into more of a caramel sauce. And once we're on the boil, I'm going to turn that heat down, and then we're going to add some ripe banana and our spices. And we're just going to cook this down 10 minutes or so. Get those bananas to break down and get kind of a nice oozy, syrupy mixture. We are getting pretty close here. The smell is amazing. It is like the essence of dessert. And I think we're just about done here. So I will take this off the heat, and then I'm going to strain it into a jar, which we'll reserve and set aside. The next item is very simple. We're going to be reducing a spiced rum. Now, the recipe calls for Sailor Jerry, but why use some old tar when you can unleash the Kraken? So that's what we're going to use, is some Kraken spiced rum. Goes into the pan, and we'll just get this boiling, and then we'll keep it at a simmer. All we're doing is reducing the volume, concentrating the flavor, removing without liquid content, the water, and also basically cooking off the alcohol. I definitely am getting some of the alcohol fumes coming off the pan here. And we're cooking this to reduce it by about half in terms of volume, just so we'll have some concentrated spiced rum flavor to enliven our drink with. Alright, and that has cooked down here, simmering away about half volume, so I'll get this off the heat, let it cool, and then, like the syrup, we'll keep it in the refrigerator until ready to craft our lovely Pirate Life coffee beverage. Let's see if we can't do that now. Well, we've made a caramel syrup and some rum essence. We are ready to whip up the Pirate Life. And I'll be honest, it's a pirate's life for me. So for this one, we're gonna go cold. So got the shaker here. So we'll add this amazing coffee. And our banana caramel. Let's do 3/4 ounce there. And into the shaker. That caramel smells really good. Strong hit of banana. smell of that mace as well. Definitely the most hardcore spice. It's called mace. Alright. Then we're going to use a dash of these Jamaican bitters from Bitter Cube. I've used these in one of my cocktail videos. Really good, spicy stuff. There we go. So good. Just a little bit more here. I have that rum essence we made. And the recipe says 1 drop, but I'm pretty sure it must mean 2 ounces, right? I'm gonna go with the 1 drop. Doesn't seem like much, but you know, with the butterfly effect, 1 drop could change the world. I'll admit I'm excited about the coffee beverage, but this has me kind of craving some tiki, maybe a rum old fashioned, and we're gonna get out the smoking chips here in a minute. It's definitely giving me some ideas for like a smoked rum old fashioned, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Last ingredient here, some milk. Alright, and let's get some ice in our shaker. Alright, we're all set. Let's shake this up. Grab my glass here. Alright. Strain this off. Okay, we're almost there. Let's get some nutmeg. Of course, best to grate whole nutmeg if you have it. I'm gonna sprinkle some on the top here. Okay, now, this could be amazing as it is, but we're going to go with 1 extra element here. And we're going to smoke this beverage. Have some oak smoking pellets here. And you know, not every China set has one of these essential tools, which is your smoking pellet spoon. So we're going to get some chips in our basket here. There we go. And to just really go wild, I've got a hit of ground allspice, for those chips as well. And then I have the smoking gun, the sign of guilt, the future of our channel. We're going to be smoking everything, folks. Cocktails, like I was saying, a smoked old-fashioned, smoked rum old-fashioned. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to smoke spaghetti and meatballs, bacon. It's a whole new world. But for now, let's smoke our Pirate Life cocktail. Well, that ends the smoking phase of the monotonic ASMR channel. It was all set for us to smoke out. That is a term I've come up with. I hate to leave a bad review, but this thing literally tried to set me on fire. Be careful out there, kids. Well, that didn't go as planned, but I know this is still going to be delicious. Alright, let's give it a taste. You know, it's all a little bit more subtle than I might have thought it was going to be with that caramel. You get the nutmeg and a tiny bit of allspice. It's very good. I really like this. Alright, those are 2 coffee creations from the new art of coffee. I really enjoy trying to make these, and I'm really enjoying the flavor of them, so I'm gonna get a nice buzz going from the coffee here, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night.